Hi, everyone. My name is Vince Valenti with WorkAway Offices, and welcome to the next podcast on business succession planning. This topic today will deal with, are you ready to buy or sell a business? And in particular, are you ready to sell your business? In my past life in running a mutual fund dealership and an insurance brokerage, the topic of buying or selling a financial advisor's book of business was always a common discussion point within our firm and in our industry. It became such an important common discussion that we felt compelled to research the topic and provide whatever training and tools to our financial advisors that we possibly could. After several years, I became one of the local experts on the topic, and I still get a number of calls today. For many business owners, you've built up a business that could be one of your largest single assets. You've ensured that you've grown the asset with prudent marketing practices. You've protected the asset in various ways, such as property insurance, sound operational and compliance policies. And you've done this while helping your clients with their unique needs. Generally speaking, if you've done your job properly and have helped your customers as your first and foremost objective, these very customers will be very happy for you when you do announce your plans to retire, as long as they understand that they'll continue to be looked after in the same fashion. Your customers, especially the ones that are younger, have developed a long and trusting relationship with you, and they will want to know that their needs will be looked after even after you're no longer able to. Along with the various basic questions about who will look after me when you retire, many customers may ask, what will happen if you get hit by a bus, as an example, or have an unexpected death or illness? Well, actually, we have an answer for this issue, which we'll post in our Continuity Agreement podcast later on. When you're asked this question, you should be ready and proud to discuss your plans for retirement and succession. As an example, you can say, of course, I have a succession plan in place, and here's what I'm going to do to ensure that you and the rest of my valued clients will be looked after in the event of an illness, death, or my eventual retirement. Let's talk about your desire to sell. What creates these desires to sell? Well, sometimes it's merely frustration. Frustration that perhaps another regulation change has to be incorporated into your business, or the burden of running the business with all of its challenges. At other times, it's from a thoughtful consideration of the pros and cons of remaining in business and deciding that a move forward and into retirement is in your best interests. Whatever the reason may be, the intention of this section in this podcast is to share a variety of options with you, from a gradual retirement to a full and final retirement. Let me start off with my first question to the audience. Do you really and seriously want to stop working? This is a critical question to consider, and this is something that I really had to think about for a very long time before I sold one of my companies. And what I would suggest right now is that you jot down a few notes and take the next few examples as thoughts for your consideration. So let's start off with the first note. No, not really. I'm not ready to retire. I like to have more time to enjoy my life while I remain in business. I love this business. I love helping people. I love traveling to conferences, meeting old colleagues. My spouse is still working, and I would just be bored if I sold the business now. If I could just focus on my top clients and sell the rest, I'd be very happy to continue working. Well, this is actually quite easy. A practical solution might be to keep your top 20% of your clients and sell the rest to an employee, a junior partner, or a new owner. Many new owners will want you to stay on and work in the business for a period of time after you've sold it. It gives customers more comfort in knowing that you'll still be around for a while. Note number 2 to consider. Well, I'm really not ready to retire, but I'm just completely fed up with all of the regulatory changes and policy requirements. If I could find someone to look after these important details, I'd love to stay in business. Well, once again, easy again. This might be a simple case of needing either more administrative help or more competent help. I say competent because I've seen situations where administrative assistants are a disaster and the employer doesn't see it. The admin assistant spends more time blaming everyone else other than him or herself. And if this is the case, a competent assistant will make a world of difference for you and allow you to stay in the business. Let's consider note number 3. Yes, I'm ready to retire. It's time for my spouse and I to start our retirement and travel around the world. Well, clarity is beautiful. Now that you've made up your mind, your next course of action is to properly plan your exit. But let's change gears for a moment. Let's discuss some of the reasons on why you should consider selling or making changes. Number 1, is your business growing? Is it stagnant or is it shrinking? We all know competition is fierce. What is the state of your business? Do you have a repeatable strategy to grow your business, or has the business been falling off lately? If business is growing and you do want to sell, congratulations, you'll be able to command a premium price for your business and business practices. If business is stagnant or worse still, shrinking, and you don't see any light at the end of the tunnel, it might be a good time to consider an exit strategy of some sort. Have you lost your passion? Whether you realize it or not, once you've lost your passion to work in your business, everyone sees it and can sense it. Unless you can change your thinking around quickly, lost passion usually leads to shrinking business situations. Many businesses are subject to many regulatory changes and government changes. Don't underestimate the work involved in dealing with significant regulatory and government changes. Some industries are highly regulated and usually have more regulation coming all the time. Don't be ashamed to think that you've lost your appetite for the business. It happens to a lot of business owners. Perhaps one of the most important points is, are your top clients demanding more products and services from you? Depending on what type of business you operate, you may be getting pressure to diversify into more products and/or services that you currently cannot provide. This diversification might be expensive, time-consuming, risky, or all of the above. Well, there are several solutions to this problem, such as finding a partner that can offer this extra skill set, products or services, and merging your company with another company, or deciding to sell all or part of your business to someone that can offer the additional products or services. If one of the above issues resonates with you, it might be prudent for you to consider making some changes to your business. Please stay tuned for my next podcast where I'll do a deep dive into what and how you can get your business ready to sell. Thank you for listening, and see you soon.